Boys and girls, here we are again. Kiwi95, back right here on my channel. I told you I'd do an update. It's been a little bit slow. I'm very sorry about that. But here it is, guys. So I'm going to dive right in there. It's been about a month and a little bit since the new DLC dropped. A load of things have been sort of spoke about on forums. A load of things have been moaned about. A load of things have been loved. Not much has changed, so that's a good thing. A lot of people were a bit worried that Colossus was going to be nerfed. A lot of people were worried that the Bone Goliath will be nerfed. That was nerfed, but hey ho. A lot of people were worried about the reanimate, but yeah, still really quite unusable. Either way, I'm going to go right through it from start to finish. I'm going to explain to you what I believe is going to be the intermediate to expert level of build to use on your Necro healer. So, as usual, guys, I'm going to start off on this menu right here. I'm using Troll King again. So I was using Bloodspawn for the ultimate regen, absolutely amazing. If you still want to use Bloodspawn, not a problem at all. I was just popping back to Troll King to just try and see the close percentage to see which one performed better. I'm leaning back towards Troll King for a Necromancer just for keeping my group alive. However, if it's solo play, Zerg surfing that you're trying to heal, I would recommend staying on your Bloodspawn just for the extra ultimate regen, the extra resistance. It really does help, and of course you can't knock the stamina recovery either. But like I said, I'm on the Troll King. I wanted the 4% extra healing done, because of course that was buffed with the Necromancer drop elsewhere, and well, you can't go wrong with an extra bit of 1500 health recovery. Next bit, I'm going to swear by this, guys. It's extremely underrated for Necromancers. Curator of the Dragon, so Akathiri Dragon Guard. I was using the Shulk's exoskeleton set instead before. I told you guys it was really good. I thought I would try out a different kind of ulti-gen set just to see what would work. Dragon all the way, guys. So Shulk's great because of course you have combat bugs, you know, you stick in combat for ages, 2-3 minutes at a time. Really great having minor heroism going off that entire time. But in all honesty, if it's ticking constantly and you're just sitting at 500 ultimate, it's pointless. It really is pointless. But what you do want is you want to be able to activate those ults as soon as possible if you don't have ultimate. So Dragon, of course, the 15% reduction of ultimate abilities is amazing. It makes the Flesh Colossus so easy to cast. If you're running it with Expunge and Modify on your front bar or whatever bar you're using it on, it will only cost you 185 ultimate to use. If not, it will cost 192 or 194. But it is so cheap to use. Of course, using it for the Resto Ult as well makes it even better because your Resto Ult only costs 107 ultimate. Swear by it, guys, over the Shulk Exoskeleton. It is definitely better than the Shulk Exoskeleton because, of course, you do get the magical recovery, you get some extra healing taken to give you more tankiness. You don't really need it, but it gives you health. It's really great, guys. It's really great. Go full Magicka on that as well, just so you've got the extra Magicka pool. I had changed my off-piece set. So, of course, I've been running just Transmutation for a long time. I did recommend you guys to use Gosma. Gosma, of course, is still a very high recommendation, but it is difficult to get for jewellery and weapons. That's the only issue that I'm not, that's the only reason, sorry, that I'm not using it. However, I thought I would try something new because I need to. Transmutation does perform very well, however, I need to chuck something else in the mix. I want to try Curse Eater because it gives the double Magicka recovery still, so it will keep me at the average Magicka recovery that you need to be able to perform on this build. It's got extra Magicka, which is great. You do lose the spell crit that you get from the transmutation. However, it doesn't actually matter that much because Necro being crit healers and having the extra 20% crit when people are low health doesn't actually make that much of a difference. I can still crit most of the time when I need to. The great thing about this though is, of course, when you heal yourself or an ally with a direct heal ability, so it has to be, you know, a single target or a burst heal ability. It can be an AoE burst heal, but it will only work on one player. So it removes up to 3 negative effects from them and will restore 600 Magicka when it does so. Now this is a bit cheeky because I wanted to see if it was broken at all. You know, I do like to give you guys a bit of tips for broken sets here and there, but I wanted to see if Curse Eater was broken at all. Now it is broken in one way. Try not to tell everyone. However, it activates off of Efficient Purge. Of course, Efficient Purge Morph doesn't heal. All it does is it will just, you know, purge. It will purge 2 items, giving you a further reduction of 50% duration on further negative effects for 6 seconds. It's great to keep running in a raid because, of course, 6 seconds, 50% reduction of dots, 50% reduction of stuns, all the sorts. Efficient Purge is really, really great to have as a healer. Not many people think it for small scale, but just because you get 6 seconds of negative effects reduction, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. But it also procs Curse Eater, like I was saying. So not only can you purge 2 negative effects, but when it activates, you can purge 5 negative effects and also restore magicka to either yourself or whoever you are healing. Amazing, amazing. So that is the only thing that Curse Eater can do extra on top to what it is supposed to do. Try it out, guys. Really, really great build. I'm absolutely loving it. My friends are loving it because, of course, I'm purging like crazy. Now, last night, I'm going to just quickly brush over this. There was a leak of some patch note information. Look it online, guys. Try and find it because it's got some extremely, extremely hard changes that are coming. DK is being completely changed. They are gutting all weapon abilities and reforming them. Like Onslaught's changing, bloody dual wield's changing. All the two-hander skills are changing. A lot of the sword and board is being redone as well, so that's being completely gutted and redone. The damage is being remodified. Every class is being remodified as well. So have a little look because everything is going to change. It's going to be a bit difficult to play certain builds. Fury and 7th Legion is being nerfed to the ground. So Fury is not going to be usable anymore. It's, instead of having 25 stacks, it's only going to have 20 maximum stacks. And then on top of that, when you hit your maximum stacks, you can no longer gain any more stacks. So it will, once you hit the 20 and you've got super, super high weapon damage and you want to start bombing people, you can't do it because after 6 seconds, all those 20 stacks will disappear. So you're going to have to really change some things around. Try things like Ravager, Veiled Inheritance, I know that was already nerfed, things like Sench, so on and so forth. I will only just brush over that like that, guys, but have a little look online because it will be different. I 100% guarantee you a lot is going to change. Now, I did try a few other little builds. Tried my Battalion Defender. It did not outperform Dragon. I tried Seducer. Absolutely amazing. I had lots and lots of magicka left over, but I was dying too quickly. Dragon outperforms it because of the extra healing taken, and of course you get the reduction of ultimate abilities. That itself is survivability because I can activate my healing ult when I'm in a lot of pressure and I can activate it earlier. Pirate Skeleton, of course, I was using that originally, but too much damage reduction for what I was receiving. That's why I went back to Troll King. Shacklebreaker, Shulks, Dragon outperforms, and again Transmutation, you can use that, but I'm trying Curse Eating. Curse Eating is very, very nice. I love it. You should definitely try it. Now let's quickly get onto my skills, guys. It is still a very, very similar setup to what I was using on my first video a month ago. However, a few things have changed because I've gotten my skill points. I've changed my morphs. This, I believe, is the perfected version of the small scale setup you should use for a Necromancer healer. So, race against time, of course, because you need some speed when you're being chased by, 12 to 20 people. And not only that, it also gives you immunity for 2 seconds to the snares and mobilizations. It is absolutely overpowered. Use it, swear by it, it's great. Renewing Undeath, of course, because you get the burst heal and it can heal over time, and of course it can purge as well. This is again why my friends are loving it, because Curse Eating this and Efficient Purge on the top, I can keep, when we need to, I can keep all siege away from us, I can keep most dots away from us. It's really, really lovely. As usual, I've got Radiant Mage Light. I can never not have Radiant Mage Light because the damage reduction is just something else. The damage reduction that it gives you and your players that are close to you, it's absolutely ridiculous. And of course, bit of crit. Absolutely love it. Resistant Flesh. A lot of people tell me to use the other morph because it heals a second player for 100% of the healing. Ah, man. I can crit for 16,000 Resistant Flesh. And half of that, 16,000 heal, is going to go straight to their resistance. 8k resistances like that. It's absolutely amazing. And it's a separate buff to Bloodspawn. It's a separate buff to your mages. You can have, even if you're, even if you've got Ellie Drain on you, even if you've got the extra crushing enchant deductions and things like that, there is no possible way that you're going to be under resistance if you've got one of these on the top, because you can get up to 8k extra resistances on a completely separate buff. It's amazing. It really, really is, guys. I've already explained Efficient Purge. You know it's good. Yeah. Flesh Colossus, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It hits extremely hard, and not only that, is it gives everyone else major vulnerability. Mine doesn't hit that hard, but that's not what I'm using it for. I'm only using it for the vulnerability, so when my guys get in there and they Dawnbreaker, and they, you know, synergy bomb. I mean, I was doing a 4-man synergy bomb group the other night. We wiped up a 15-man group in, well, one hit, because we dropped the Nova, dropped a Shackle, I dropped my Glacial Colossus, of course, and the second the Nova went off, the Nova hit for 28,000. 28,000 it hit that whole group 4. They were gone instantly. They were gone instantly. You know, major vulnerability is the key in this patch. Back bar, resto, of course. Summoning armor, because you want to just reduce the cost of a Spirit Mender. Agony Totem, again, I did change the remote totem from Agony Totem before, but I have now since gone back to Agony Totem for small scale perspective, because in small scale you want to be placing it behind you while you're retreating. You don't want to, I mean, the remote totem is really great because you can place it inside raids in front of you, but if you want to trick people as well, you can leave it as a trap. If you can count 2 seconds in your head and you know the trajectory of the player coming to you, you can place it 2 seconds before they get to said area, and you can fear them the moment they get to your area, and then you can use that as a 2-second kite position. Well, kite. Well, just ability. You know, you can use that to then use to, you know, have 2 seconds to run upstairs, run around the corner, do a little figure of 8 through something. Kiting is key. And of course it does give minor vulnerability as well. You can add that to the top of major, 38% damage increase taken to enemy players. It is OP. Anyway, third skill, guys, Necrotic Potency. Swear by it. I mean, the ult regen you get from this skill is second to none. 6 per corpse. If you wipe, you know, even if it's a resource, you know, with just NPC ads, that's about 20 dead bodies. 6 ultimate per body, and then not to mention that you have the corpse consumption ability in your class, and I believe it's Living Death. Yes. So when you when you consume a corpse, you gain 10 ultimate, and it will activate off of this every single time. And due to Necrotic Potency being, you know, from a corpse, what you can do is every 4 seconds that you can, of course I taught you before that on the 4-second moment you can recast your Intensive Mender and it will give you a corpse for half the duration. You can constantly redo that. So every 4 seconds you can have 6 ultimate, and then every, you know, corpse consumption cooldown limit, 16 seconds, you can then have an extra 10 ultimate. So that's 16 ultimate per 16 seconds, and then on top of that, every 4 seconds you're gaining 6 ultimate, not to mention any ultimate that you're gaining from if you're using Bloodspawn, light attacking, heavy attacking, healing, taking damage, so on and so forth. Use Necrotic Potency, it is really great, and to have it on your resto bar as well, it gives you an extra 3% damage taken. You take 3% less damage. Yeah, really good, guys. It's really, really good. Mutagen, you all know I love Mutagen. It removes an effect, 20% little burst heal. Really great, really great. 16k heal over 20 seconds. You can't go wrong with it, guys. An extra heal over time. Yeah, it's always healing on the top. Intensive Mender, you really know what it does, guys. I've already taught you about the half duration corpse generation. So, of course, 8 seconds. So on the 4-second marker, if you redo your corpse, so if you redo your Mender, you will get a corpse. Exactly the same for Summoner's Armor as well. At the 10 to 9-second marker, if you recast your Summoner's Armor, you will get a corpse instantly. And that is how you generate corpses ongoingly, so on and so forth. Now, my healing ult. Of course, everyone knows that the Lights Champion had the 30% major protection removed. Everyone was crying about it. I didn't. I actually really, really like Life Giver. Not only does it cast the ult, but you get Regeneration, Blessing of Protection, and Steadfast Ward, and all of the extra bits on top of those heals. So Regeneration, it will stack with your Mutagen, so you get an extra hot. Great. Blessing of Protection also gives the miners. Great. Steadfast Ward, it's an extra heal. You know, it's a nice little ward. It always goes off when you need it. It will always go to the lowest health target. It's normally about 6 to 8k. Great again. And then on top of that, you're healing for 9 to 10k every 1 second. It's really, really amazing, guys. Really, really amazing. I'm not too sure if it can bug out if you get stunned halfway through the animation. I'm still a bit 50-50 on that, but of course we're going to have to see. So this is what I believe is to be the near perfected version of my healer build. These are the skills that I'm using. It works out quite well. Of course, it comes together for 64 Magicka. You get 31k Magicka in total. In Cyrodiil, you have about 28k health. You've got 14.4k stamina, 2.1k magic recovery. I mean, 2k is probably the lowest limit you can go to if you wanted to play around a bit. Spell resistance at basic sits at 20k, and of course the physical is only 19. I wouldn't say go any less than that, because of course everyone's got a bit of penetration, everyone's got the Ellie drains and so on and so forth. You don't want to be too low and catch yourself out. A few people were asking about my CP, and I did tell them that it was basic CP, and I will show you it is really kind of just quite basic. So I've got a bit of sprint reduction, I've got a bit of warlord in there for the break free. Arcanist, because you need the magic recovery, I always go for the 14% at the 75 points. Tenacity, because I needed a bit more magic and stamina back from my heavy attacks. Block reduction, great for a healer. Tumbling, because of course I do a lot of dodge rolling. The extra 10% does really help. Dodge rolling is key. Blessed, 14% healing done, 20% extra crit healing. Penetration, a bit of damage extra done because of the Colossus, and I do have some direct damage as well for the Colossus too. That all increases, those three increase the damage of your Colossus. That's the only reason I'm using them. Red Tree, again, very basic, 19%, a little bit in there for extra spell resistance. Crit resistance only for 700 because the diminishing return starts to kick in about 24 points. Hardy, 7%. I always go for just 7 and 7% in these because you can get more from other talents for the diminishing returns that applies onto Hardy and an Elemental Defender. It's got a really hard, steep turn for, well, yeah, for that. 19% in thick skinned. 20% there. Light and heavy attacks, they do hit hard. Every single person light and heavies weaves, so if you reduce that weave by 20% damage, it really does help. Quick recovery, extra healing received, it's always helpful for a healer because you're constantly the focus of a battle. Second people realize you're a healer, they're going to focus you. So yeah, very simple setup, very simple setup. Of course you can copy it, you know, go back on the video, copy it down. It's fairly basic though, guys. I'm sure you've got a very similar setup for yourselves. I'm hoping that I've covered a lot of things for you guys. I've covered the skills, I've covered the gear, I've covered a little bit of basic information about sort of the end tier stuff. If you need to know about movement, anything included within that, go back to my first video. The movement of a Necro is very key to surviving. I'll do a little bit on top of that because it has changed. Of course, you're not using blast zones anymore, you're not using tether. A lot of people may ask why I'm not using tether. It's extremely hard to get the tether active inside of a small scale fight. So, you know, you're 4 guys fighting, you know, 12 to 20 people. You're not going to be able to aim at that corpse quick enough. You really can't. That's why I'm using Necrotic Potency as well, because of course it will activate without me even aiming at the corpse. I just need to be in range, and it will heal me, it will give me ultimate. Yeah, that's why I use that one, because otherwise, you know, you're going to spend ages trying to hit a player. Trying to hit a corpse even. It does give you 3% extra healing done, but in all honesty, just for the applicability of the skill itself, and for how much time it wastes trying to get it activated in, like, you know, a high pressure situation, it's useless. It really is useless. Necrotic Potency wins over that every single day, because you can go from 0 ultimate to 100 ultimate with 1 Necrotic Potency if you have the full amount of corpses that you can suck up in one go. Try the build, guys. I hope you like it. If you do have any questions, of course, message me in the thread and I will try my best to give you a hand. Thanks ever so much for coming back, guys, and subscribe if you like it, comment if you need help, and enjoy the little montage at the end. Thanks ever so much.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, go long range. Oh shit, baby, give it. Thanks, baby. Incoming, spread now, we're gonna get bombed. Spread now, quickly. I'll regroup my position. Quickly, fast. Regroup, pull back slightly, let them in, and come in. I want the bomb inside here. Spread on the left and on the west. West Billy now. Still got this one. Let bomb them on the house. My position, get ready to get the kids through. Everyone to me, everyone to me. Right, get ready to get them. 3, 2, 1, micro now, micro now.
The mutilated bodies. The mutilated bodies. Our home to the warlord of our home to the warlord of our home. Angels and man alike, angels and man alike, scream for one thing, scream for one thing. Angels and man alike have been cut down to fulfill his endless sacrifices to the dark ones who scream for one thing: blood.